young Dale Harris.
Thank you very much. It's about the Queen carrying on her Diamond Jubilee celebrations. Delivered a speech in Parliament yesterday, and it's I'll say great achievement. She's lived that long, 60 years. She seems to be someone the people of Britain look up to, and
some don't.
What do you think about the Queen in general? I think it's a bit it's good to have someone you're familiar with.
I'd prefer to be a republic, but as long as she doesn't wield any true sort of power, which she doesn't. Most of the bills she signs are not really any of any real importance. So, and probably brings a lot of money in due to tourism.
Yeah. Look at the royal wedding last year.
Yeah, that's true. But I think on balance, I'd prefer to probably have a queen in the current state. But Tom, what are your views?
Right. Well, I think the Queen. Do you know what? I think she's somebody who I certainly admire, but I think that she takes too much taxpayers' money. I honestly do. I think why should I have to pay a percentage for her to get a boat?
Oh, she shouldn't get a golden yacht.
Why should I pay for her to get, travel to all these locations? And look, if it's when they're going on these holidays, and it's a holiday, they're not going and looking at, they're not meeting dignitaries. Like Prince Harry went and met Usain Bolt. That was his thing. And they said afterwards, he didn't meet anyone of any real importance in the area, but he met Usain Bolt and got an autograph from him.
Well, he did meet the Jamaican, Prime Minister? Well,
they said, yeah. I read that he'd not seen him, but anyway.
That was a her. She said she wanted to break away from the Commonwealth, and then she gave him a hug and a kiss when they met. The thing I like about Harry, though, he seems to be
insane.
But he seems to be breaking away from a lot of the rules are like this is the way it's done and that. He seems to be kind of a more normal bloke. He seems to be one of the lads.
Yeah, he's his own man. He's not kind of in that whole sort of traditional royalist, some might say slightly backward traditions.
Exactly. Maybe he made a slight mistake wearing that Nazi uniform.
Yeah.
We've all made fancy dress mistakes, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I'd like to say though is, racism is something which I'm very much opposed to, and when people are they're the book's thrown at them quite rightly. But when Prince Philip does that, people go, "Oh, bless, it's Prince Philip." It's like, what did he say to one of them? Do your people still hunt monkeys or something? It was like that, and I thought that's really offensive, and they did. But the British media went, "Oh, good old Philip with a nice little joke there."
But if Louis Suarez said a comment like that, the media, rightfully so, would be hounding him. But Philip says it. Good old Phil, at it again, the racist again.
Well, in all fairness, if John Terry said it.
Controversial!
John Terry, I'm calling you out, boy! No, John Terry...
Here comes a lawsuit.
No, it's alleged. It is alleged.
Can I just say that those comments were made by Tom Feeney and not Dale Harris?
Or by me, Jack Elliott. So if there is going to be a lawsuit, it will be completely for him to pay.
Oh, no. No, me and JT go way back. So, he's
I was going to make a joke then, but I'm not. I don't want to get dragged into this lawsuit.
No, I've got to say though that it is alleged. Yeah. No, me and Jason Roberts do believe the same thing. But anyway, that ain't the point. So Jack, story of the week. Do you know what time we're at? We're actually 15 minutes in. Story of the week.
All right. It was the Chancellor's third budget today. He announced a variety of measures, including the top rate of tax is going to be decreased from 50%
to
45% from 2013. Some of the measures were expected, the increase in personal tax allowance from 9,205. Some of them, like there's going to be a new duty on games machines and an increase in fuel duty on hot chicken, sports drinks, and also the duty on cigarettes is going to go up by 5% above inflation.
I think stuff like cigarettes should be taxed.
Yeah. But there was no mention of the roads. So I think under public pressure, there was quite a lot of opposition to that. I think it would have been a very unpopular measure. So I think you could say he did a U-turn, but
it would have drove people mad, wouldn't it? Really?
Oh dear.
It was just drove them round the bend. But anyway,
just try and curb your enthusiasm, please.
I'm sorry if you have been listening to this for the past few weeks. You will, of course, realise that Dale Harris is the master of the puns. And,
yeah.
Well, there he is again.
The master of mirth, you might say. The master of mirth.
Right, well, we will get back onto topic now. We'll talk about that budget again. And, Jack, were you surprised with how the budget...
I was surprised that there was no mention of the toll booth or the opening up investment in roads to sovereign wealth funds. The new duty on games machines, tax on hot chicken. I wasn't expecting that.
They're clutching at straws, aren't they? They're clutching at straws. They're trying to tax everything.
Yep. Indeed.
Like tax chairs and coats. Is that what
Tom was finding that chair rather taxing.
If you are wondering what's going on, I will just explain. My coat actually just got caught to the chair.
His coat heard about the new tax on hot chickens and
it was fuming. We're trying to do a run back to the greatest country in the world, Ireland. Oh, the show is controversial.
The same island that had to be bailed out by Britain.
By our good
friends. And if Britain, who are broke, got to bail her out,
we even gave them 7 billion more. We felt that sorry for them.
I know, we're just a generous nation.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so the cutting of higher rate tax from 50% to 45%. Ed Miliband said this budget is the day when we're all in this together ends. Would you two agree with that?
Well, yeah, but I think the Tories have spoke a lot of rubbish about. I mean, since from day one going, we're all in this together. But then we found out the Prime Minister has his own paid personal photographer. Yes. I mean, yeah, because we all go around with our own personal photographer. Just walking out of my accommodation in the morning, he's there outside.
I've just hired another one last week.
So how are we all in this together? Yeah. It's a load of rubbish. Controversial.
Well, I'm going to be. I'm not going to be that controversial because I think that, to be honest, the Conservatives, sent out a lot of mixed signals. I think with the roads, I think that was something that they told the media. The media, tells everyone, and the reaction was so negative. Let's keep it out. But I'm shocked that they have actually dropped that to 45%. Mm-hmm. But will it mean that some Premier League players get a bit more money now for playing? I think they're the only ones who will be affected, really. So
they also dropped corporation tax. They doubled the planned cut in corporation tax to 2%. So that'll now be 24%.
Right. I thought you lads are now ready and prepared.
Oh no.